Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. I hope the lighting's not too bad. I am recording this at it's 7:15 at night, so I can't do the curtains, there's no sunlight, so this is the best lighting I can get. I don't know, the lighting in my room I did notice on the live stream. Thank you for everyone that did. I mean, I'll be putting this out possibly Saturday, so there will be another live stream coming up, but that's not completely confirmed next week yet, but I'll confirm that in my weekly watchers video. But thank you for everyone that did join the last live stream. Great time, much appreciated, and big thanks to Sam and Roy. A lot of fun. But yeah, I did notice that the lighting wasn't particularly great on my end. Again, because it's at night, I've just got the one light and that's it. I'm not really sure how. I mean, you can give me tips. I mean, I've done different angles before. I've shot from here. Obviously, the live stream was behind me. So I'm not really too sure how I can fix the light. I don't think it's too bad at the moment, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the video. This was just something I thought would be possibly quite handy, quite different, might be helpful for some people that are struggling to find. These are all, it's all imports basically that are in my collection that I've imported from various countries that just don't have a UK Blu-ray release, but are great films that I think deserve to be talked about. And I could probably even squeeze a part 2 into this maybe, because there are more that I'm looking at that, but I just didn't want to make the video really long. So I've got a handful here, quite a few to get through. And yeah, if you like the video, I'll do a second part with some more. But I just love, there's a lot of really great films that I've had to import because just there's no UK Blu-ray release, which is a shame. But I'll go through them, and a lot of these I got a good price, and I'll let you know if it's region A locked, because a few of these are region A locked, so you will only be able to watch them if you have a region free Blu-ray player, but I will let you know that when I'm going through. This first one is a double pack. It's a double pack of, I think it's better on that side, I think, Reservation Road and Return to Paradise, 2 Joaquin Phoenix films, both really good films. I had the German release of Return to Paradise, and I thought that was an excellent film, and I saw this going for a $5 on eBay. It's a Mill Creek release, and I hadn't seen Reservation Road. It's Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Connelly in that one. I have seen it since. That's also a really good, like, drama, family drama type film. This is more of like a thriller drama, I would say. But both fantastic films, and if you can get it at a good price, highly recommend it. It's region free, all Mill Creek. I mean, it does say region A, but all Mill Creek releases work on region B players, so absolutely fine to watch this one, even if you're not region free. But 2 fantastic films, and for a $5 was excellent. Very happy to get that one. This next one is region locked, I believe, and I did spend quite a bit on this, but I do love the lead actor in this. I think I spent about £25 on this, which I was happy to spend because it's the only way that you can get this film. And it's Multiplicity with Michael Keaton and Andy McDowell, a Harold Ramis film. I love this film. I love Michael Keaton, one of my favourite actors. He will appear again in this list. But yeah, just a really good, heartwarming family comedy, mid-90s, I think 96, yeah, 96. About a man that finds that he's can't stretch himself too much. He's got taken on too much with work, as a dad, as a husband. But a wacky scientist approaches him with a proposition, I will say, and hilarity ensues, as you can probably tell from the front cover. Just a really good, great 90s comedy, made me laugh, heartwarming, as I said. Yeah, definitely worth that one. Multiplicity. Next up is a fantastic Australian film. It's Muriel's Wedding. This is the German release, so yeah, this is region B anyway. But fantastic Australian film this is. Got soundtrack to ABBA, Toni Collette in I think this was her first film, Rachel Griffiths and Bill Hunter. Yeah, just really funny film, this one. It's been a long time since I watched it actually, but I remember it being very, like, It's quite a cheesy film, but yeah, if you like Australian films, if you like comedies along the line of Strictly Ballroom, yeah, definitely worth it, this one, Muriel's Wedding. Then next up we have News of the World, which is available via Netflix over here in the UK, but it's such a great film and I got it at such a good price. This is the American import that I had to get it because definitely deserved to be in my physical media collection. Tom Hanks in a fantastic role. He basically plays a captain, and it's set 5 years after the Civil War's ended, and he goes from town to town telling stories of things that have happened, the news that has happened over the world. And he comes across this young girl whose family has been slaughtered, and he's going to take her to the local town, to the people, so they can help her, basically. And it's about their journey. Beautiful story, really great film, directed by Paul Greengrass, who did some of the Bourne films. Yeah, highly recommend that one if you've not seen it. News of the World. Next up, this is also German. 9 Months, which is Hugh Grant, Julianne Moore, Tom Arnold, Joan Cusack, Jeff Goldblum, and a scene-stealing role from the late great Robin Williams, who's absolutely hilarious in this one. Directed by Chris Columbus. Obviously, he did Home Alone, and he did Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah, just a really funny film, this one. It's basically about a man. He's a bit of a, I suppose he's a bit of a commitment phobe. He's in love with Julianne Moore's character. They're in a relationship, but I don't think he really wants to get married. But then she becomes pregnant, and he kind of freaks out. He doesn't know if he can be a dad. And yeah, it's just really funny. Heartwarming again. Hugh Grant's excellent in this. If you like Mrs. Doubtfire, 100% will be up your street. I got this for a tenner, I think, on Amazon. As I say, this is the German copy. But yeah, excellent film. 9 Months. Next up, another film with Robin Williams in, and I'm shocked that this hasn't come over to the UK yet, because it's a fantastic film, and it is The World According to Garp. This is the American release, region free though. Obviously, this was Robin Williams' first film. You've got Glenn Close. I think this was Glenn Close's first film as well. John Lithgow, who's fantastic in this. I have a feeling he was nominated for an Oscar for this. But it doesn't actually say on the back. But it's about, basically, it's just about this man's life, his story. Glenn Close plays his mother. John Lithgow plays his friend. And yeah, it's just a really another feel-good, great film. Who else is in this? I'm trying to see who else is in this. Mary Beth Hurt. Yeah, and George Roy Hill directed it. So if you like Robin Williams, this is a no-brainer. Really great feel-good film, this one. The World According to Garp. Next up, another Michael Keaton film. This time we have White Noise, which is sort of like, it's like a sci-fi horror, I would say. And fun fact, this started the trend of Universal releasing a horror film every January. As you notice, they do pretty much every year. They release like it's usually a Blumhouse film now, but this was January 2005. It did really well at the box office, so that since then they've released a horror film every January, because apparently it makes them money. But yeah, this was a really good one. Basically, Michael Keaton plays a man. His wife dies in a tragic accident. I'm just reading off the back here because I forgot. And he turns to what's known as EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, to try and communicate to her from beyond the grave. And bad stuff starts to happen. Really good. Michael Keaton's great. It's not too scary, but it's scary enough for sure. But yeah, I like this one. I think there is a sequel as well, which I think has Nathan Fillion in it, but I don't think that's going to be worth watching. But yeah, that is White Noise. Next up, this is, I want to say this is the Canadian release. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the Canadian release, and it is The Skeleton Twins, which is region free, A, B, and C. And this follows two siblings. They're estranged, they don't really see each other very often, but they both have their own issues, and they come together because something happens. Won't say what. And they start to like reconnect with each other and try and help each other because they're really struggling. Really heartwarming film again. Quite dark in places though. There are some elements to this that are quite hard to watch. But Bill Hader, Kristen Wiig, both fantastic. Very funny in parts. Definitely a dark comedy, I would say. If you like your dark comedies, if you like both of these actors, and this sounds like something that would interest you, then I definitely recommend checking it out because, again, another fantastic film, The Skeleton Twins. Then, next up, we have another one that I think was exclusive to Netflix over here. This is the German release, though, and actually was a pretty decent Netflix film, and that is Fatherhood with Kevin Hart. In this, basically, he's got to raise his daughter on his own. I think his wife tragically passes away, so he's left to raise his daughter on his own, and he has no idea what he's doing, so he has to get some help. And as the title suggests, it's just about him trying to be a father and not always working, and it's very funny. Again, a very heartwarming film. Probably my favourite Kevin Hart film. I think he gives a really good performance in this. You've got Alfred Woodard in this as well. You've got Lil Rel Howery, who I quite like. Paul Reiser, who's always great. So yeah, it's a really decent film. If you don't want to pick this one up, even though it's really cheap, as I say, stream it on Netflix first, see if it's your type of film and get it. But yeah, I love this film. Very happy that this got a Blu-ray release. Next up, one that I believe this is Region A locked, if memory serves me right, but it's one that I grew up with. I had it on DVD growing up, and I watched it so many times. And that is Dreamer, with Kurt Russell and Dakota Fanning. Based on a true story. It's about a racehorse, and it's about beating the odds. A bit similar to like Seabiscuit. About a racehorse, and everybody thinks he's done. There's nothing more he can do, but it's about overcoming the odds, proving people wrong. It's about the importance of family and what brings a family together. You've got Elizabeth Shue in this as well, Chris Christopherson, Luis Guzman, Freddie Rodriguez, David Morse. Really good cast, scored by John Debney. Yeah, again, another fantastic feel-good film. If you like your feel-good films, I put this one high up on the list. High recommendation for this one because I love this film. Very happy to have this on Blu-ray as well. So yeah, that is Dreamer. Next up, we have Dave, a fun comedy with Kevin Kline, Sigourney Weaver. It's basically Kevin Kline's character is the doppelganger of the president, and they want him to take the president's place, basically, and not tell anyone. So I think even his wife doesn't know that it's not him. And it's about him trying to rule the country, and he has no idea what he's doing because obviously he isn't the president and he's got no experience. So you can kind of guess what goes on. You've got, who else is in this? Frank Langella, great in this. Ben Kingsley, Ving Rhames, yeah, music by James Newton Howard. It's an Ivan Reitman film, and it's very funny. If you like your comedies, if you like other Ivan Reitman films, if this sounds up your street, again, another one, definitely recommend this one. Very funny. I thought this was a good laugh. So yeah, that is Dave. Next up, this one, again, is region locked, but it was one that I'd had my eye on for such a long time because it just looked right up my street. And it's a fantastic film. I don't know how easy it is to get a hold of, but I recommend it. And that is a film called Chances Are from 1989 with Robert Downey Jr., Mary Stuart Masterson, Sybil Shepherd, and the late Ryan O'Neal. Who else is in this? There is someone else, but I can't remember who it is. Quite a well-known actor, but I can't remember who it is. Basically, this film follows Robert Downey Jr.'s character, who basically it's hard to explain. So it's about a woman, her husband dies basically unexpectedly. She was devoted to him. He was a great man, but he gets a second chance at life through the way of Robert Downey Jr.'s character. So he comes back to life as him basically, but it is him, but in his body. And it's like obviously years later, set years later, and he meets his daughter, who's Mary Stuart Masterson, and you've got Ryan O'Neill, who is Sybil Shepherd's character's best friend, who's also fancies her. And yeah, it's again really heartwarming film, great 80s film. One of my favourite Robert Downey Jr. films. Got a great song from Cher at the end as well. Yeah, just a really good story. Very original, very 80s. But if you like those sorts of things, then definitely get hold of this. As I say, unfortunately, it is Region A locked. But how much did I get paid for this? I did pay almost 30 quid for this, but you may be able to get it cheaper now, because I think... Oh, no, 2014, so it's been out a while, but yeah, if you can get your hands on this, definitely the one I would recommend. Next up, we have Copycat with Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, Dermot Mulroney, Will Patton, Harry Connick Jr., great cast. Anyone else of note? Can't see anyone else of note. But yeah, I love these sorts of things. It's a serial killer film about a copycat killer. And Holly Hunter's the lead detective, and Sigourney Weaver's like a very well-known criminal psychologist. Something's happened to her years ago, which made her an agoraphobe, is it what they call? So she won't leave her apartment. But there's this copycat killer that's linked to her past, and she's called on by the police to try and help catch him, basically. Really good stuff, this one. If that sounds interesting to you, it's more than that. There's lots of good twists in this as well. Sigourney Weaver's fantastic. This is the American import, region 3, this one, although it does only say region A, but this one is region 3. Yeah, really great film, this one, and was pretty cheap, 10 quid I think I paid for this on eBay. So yeah, that's one I definitely recommend. Copycat. Next up, this one is the last one that's region A locked, I believe. And it is from Vestron Video. It is Blue Steel, which is a Catherine Bigelow film with Jamie Lee Curtis. In this, she plays like she's like new to the force, a new officer, and she responds to a grocery store robbery, and she ends up killing the robber, basically, and it's her first day on the job. But something happens, and the gun goes missing, and then she's put in the frame for doing her job wrong. And there's a man played by Ron Silver in this who starts to become obsessed with her and is trying to... I won't go any further because it does say it on the back, but I don't want to go any further. But she's got to try and fight for her life, basically, and for her job. Really good stuff in this. Jamie Lee Curtis is excellent. I don't know, this may be available elsewhere, but I got this imported from America because it was one that looked right up my street, and it was. But as I say, Region A locked this specific edition, but it may be available elsewhere, but still definitely worth the watch. And then we have The Art of Racing in the Rain, which I've yet to watch the Blu-ray version, but I did see this one at the cinema, so I can't actually comment. It does only say Region A on the back, but it might be Region 3. I don't know. I didn't pay very much for this one either. Kevin Costner voicing a dog, about his life. If you like Marley and Me, very similar sort of thing to that. About a racing car driver and his dog, and the dog's life, basically, and Kevin Costner plays the voice of the dog, narrating the story as it was. Very heartwarming, very funny. If you like your dog films, definitely one to give a watch. Next up is Cry Macho, which was Clint Eastwood's last starring role film. And yeah, this one wasn't as highly acclaimed as most of his films, but still an enjoyable one. It's about an ex-rodeo star who's called in by a friend to basically go and get his, I think it's his son, down from Mexico and bring him back to him. So it's kind of like a road trip film about Bond, about Clint Eastwood, obviously his age and stuff, but not still being like sort of young at heart. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Anything with Clint Eastwood in, I'll watch. So if you're a Clint Eastwood fan and you didn't know about this one, I definitely get this one. Worth a watch. This is the German release, so definitely region compatible. And the final one, which is from America, but again is region free, and it comes with the Blu-ray and the DVD, based on a true story, and it's a fantastic film. You probably never heard of it because very under the radar, but it's called Breakthrough. As I say, it's based on a true story about a young boy who very close to his family, and one day he falls through the ice whilst playing with his friends, and he's in a coma basically, and the odds are completely against him. None of the doctors think he can survive, but it's all about his family's faith that he is going to get through this and he is going to get better. And yeah, it's just a really uplifting story. I'm not one for faith-based dramas myself, but I think this is more than that. I think this is just a really good film, and it's a true story as well. You've got Chrissy Metz, who was in This Is Us. You've got Josh Lucas, Topher Grace, Mike Coulter, who played Luke Cage, and Dennis Haysbert, who's always a great character actor. So yeah, if you think that sounds like your type of film, again, one I would definitely recommend. This is the American import, the only way you can get it, I think. May have a German release, I'm not 100% sure, but well worth getting because it's a fantastic film. It may even be streaming on Disney Plus if you can't get your hands on it, just to give it a watch. But yeah, definitely worth the watch. Breakthrough. So yeah, those are just some of the imports in my collection that I thought was worth recommending and showing you. As I said, there are plenty of others that I could show you, but see how this video does first, see what the response is like, and then I might do a part 2 next week as well. But let me know if you've got any of these, if any of these now interest you. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me of imports that you can't get in the UK that are really good films, underrated films, because I'm always on the lookout for films like that. But if you like the video, make sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment because I really do appreciate it. And that's it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.